Hello and welcome. The purpose of this video is to take you through the complete installation process of our retractable screen door system. Let's get started. To begin, let's go through the basic tools needed to complete the installation process. You'll need the following: number 0, number 1, and number 2 Robertson square driver bits, small hand file, medium coarse, half round, rechargeable drill with a screw torque set, tape measure, 12-inch opening quick clamp, 2-step ladder, hacksaw, fine tip marker, a 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, 3/32, and 7/64 drill bits, and an 82-degree countersink bit. Now, before the door can be built and installed, the opening must be measured. The first step in measuring is to select the proper sill adapter. There are 5 different types of sill adapters. What we're looking to do is to match the threshold with a sill adapter that will give a secure place and create a flat vertical surface to mount the bottom rail. The exterior and over sill adapters are the most commonly used. We will be showing both of them. The exterior sill adapter is intended to match the angle of the existing threshold on the exterior of the house. The over sill adapter is installed to the midway area of an in-swing door frame, mounted on top of the sloped threshold area. The next step in measuring will be to measure the height of the opening. Now, when measuring, it's best to take the height of both sides and the center of the door frame. If the door is not square and your measurements are different, use the longest one. To do this, place the end of the tape measure on the sill adapter where the bottom rail is to be mounted. Then measure to the top of the opening and add 1 inch if available. The 1 inch is added to give a clear mounting surface for the top rail. If you're working with a curved molding or there's no place to mount the top rail, you can mount a square sill adapter in the top of the opening to give you a place to mount the top rail. In this case, you would measure from the bottom sill adapter to the top of the square sill adapter. It's a good habit to subtract 1/8 of an inch for adjustments that may need to be made later. You are now ready to measure the width. To do this, measure the inside width between the door jambs. These measurements will be placed on the order form or given to your local dealer to order your retractable screen system. Now that the measuring is finished, the next thing to do is select a mounting location for the housing. The housing should be mounted on the hinge side of the door frame. You also want to check to ensure no existing door handles or other add-ons to the existing door will interfere with the screen's operation. The next step in the process will be to install the sill adapter. If the sill adapter has not been pre-cut, you'll need to measure and cut to fit. To determine the sill adapter length, you'll need to get the measurement of the distance between the door frame moldings. You then cut the sill adapter to this measurement. Often, it's good to cut away a notch in the sill adapter. This will allow it to fit around the molding. This also will create a secure mounting surface for the bottom housing cap. After the sill adapter has been cut to the proper length, you'll need to pre-drill the sill adapter with an 1/8-inch drill bit in 3 locations, 1 in the center and 2 approximately 3 inches from each end. After drilling, you need to countersink with an 82-degree countersink bit, being careful not to over countersink the holes. At this point, you're ready to attach the sill adapter to the threshold. First, you need to pre-drill into the threshold using the sill adapter as a guide. Use a 1/8-inch drill bit. Then you're ready to attach the sill adapter to the threshold. If you selected to use the exterior or interior sill adapter, you will use a number 6 by 1-inch flathead screw. You will use a number 6 by 2-inch flathead screw if you're using a threshold, over, or square sill adapter. Now you're ready to install the housing unit. Remember, the housing unit mounts on the hinge side of the door frame. At this point, place the bottom of the housing on the front edge of the sill adapter. Holding the unit plumb, attach the top to the door frame using a number 8 by 2-inch screw. If you're mounting into a metal door frame, you'll have to pre-drill it with a 1/8 inch bit. Ensure that the unit is resting on the bottom sill adapter. The next thing that needs to be done is what we call a dry run. With your foot or knee, hold the bottom of the housing in place while pulling the screen across to ensure that the screen covers the entire door opening. If needed, move the housing unit to the left or right to correct. Now that the housing is square with the door, it's time to attach the bottom housing cap. You must first pre-drill into the sill adapter with a 1/8 inch bit. Be sure to hold the bottom of the housing in place while you drill. You can now attach the bottom of the housing to the door frame using a number 8 by 2-inch screw, being careful not to torque the screw too tight. After the bottom of the housing is attached, do another dry run to be sure that the pull bar and door frame are still in square with each other. With the housing now installed, you're ready to measure, cut, and pre-drill the top and bottom rails. If the door is mounted inside the door frame, you'll need to measure from the pull bar side of the housing across to the other door jamb. If the door is mounted outside the door frame, as it is here, you'll measure again from the pull bar side of the housing, except in this instance, you'll measure 1 inch past the door jamb. Cut both top and bottom rails the same length. Next, we'll be marking the rail positions to show where to pre-drill. To position the bottom rail for marking, slide the rail through the pull bar cap and into the housing cap behind the tab with a hole. With the rail in this position, use the hole in the tab on the housing cap as a guide to mark the rail. You can now mark the center and end hole. When marking the end hole, mark 3 inches from the end. After the rail is marked, drill the holes using a 1/4 inch bit. For the top rail, you can repeat the marking and pre-drilling steps used for the bottom rail. Next, you will need to drill pilot holes into the sill adapter to mount the bottom rail. Slide the bottom rail back in place through the pull bar cap and into the housing end cap behind the tab with the hole. Hold the rail firmly down on the sill adapter edge. Drill through the holes in the rail into the sill adapter using a 1/8 inch bit. At this point, you're ready to attach the bottom rail. When attaching the bottom rail to the sill adapter, be sure to hold the rail firmly down on the front edge of the sill adapter. To attach, use number 8 by 3/4 inch Tech screws. Before attaching the top rail, position the rail in place by sliding it through the pull bar cap and into the housing end cap behind the tab with the hole. You're now ready to attach the top rail.